So unlucky. Mitchell hospitalized. Boston fouls out as Fever's resilient run busts in OT. Down 2 All-Stars in crunch time, Indiana pushed the Aces to OT before coming up short in Game 5, an all-too-familiar scenario that reflected their season-long grit. Las Vegas. When the Indiana Fever lined up for overtime of their winner-take-all Game 5 on Tuesday night, their 5 included 2 guards signed to hardship contracts in August, and just 1 starter from opening night. For the final 5 minutes of their season, Indiana had 8 players unavailable. Las Vegas, meanwhile, didn't have a single name on its injury report. Caitlin Clark and cast of 5 others remained out, but All-Star center Aaliyah Boston fouled out, and All-Star guard Kelsey Mitchell was at the hospital getting fluids for a lot of lower body cramping. Head coach Stephanie White shared post-game. Unfortunately, we have a lot of experience in rallying around teammates, and this group is all heart, man. It's just really hard to put into words. They're just special. Still, the 6-seeded Fever would not quit. They refused to roll over and give in. Instead, White said, "I thought we continued to give. I think they made really tough plays, championship plays, and that was it." This game was a microcosm of their 2025 season. Despite having the most unusual set of circumstances, like a separate roster of players unavailable to conclude their most important game of the season, Indiana was within 3 points with 22.6 seconds left in overtime. But the Aces hit a couple big shots, including 3 threes in a row to begin the extra session, then went 8 for 8 at the foul line to finish the game and the Fever season. The injury-depleted Fever were outscored 21-12 in overtime for a 107-98 loss. In their 53rd game over the last 4.5 months, the Indiana Fever squeezed every possible ounce out of each individual with their season on the line. Then in the locker room post-game, White was in tears as she told this group of 16 players how proud of them she was. It was a moment she's been dreading for several weeks because it marks the final time this group would be together. "They've been an absolute joy to coach," White said. "It's an incredible group of women, an incredibly connected group. They're a great example to everybody what it means to just put one foot in front of the other, to persevere, to welcome people into the game, to welcome people into the fold, to not give in to circumstance, to lead with grace and dignity, to sacrifice for a greater good and a common good. I'm just so thankful to coach these women, and I'm just thankful for this experience with them." Down goes Mitchell. Once again, this was a battle. It was a prize fight that featured 16 ties and 13 lead changes. At halftime, with the Aces leading 47-45, neither team had led by more than 5 points. So much changed for the Fever, however, with 5:05 left in third. Trailing by 4, Boston was whistled for an offensive foul as she completed a dribble handoff to Mitchell. It was her 5th foul, thus costing Boston valuable time on the court. During that stoppage, Mitchell's legs looked wobbly and she reached for game official Isaac Barnett as she lost her balance and slowly dropped to the floor. With it happening on the baseline in front of the Aces bench, several opposing players raced over to hold up white towels to give Mitchell privacy. Just 1 possession earlier, Mitchell pushed the ball in transition and knocked down a 3-pointer from straight on. She contributed 15 points in 23 minutes. Boston joined the training staff on the court, got down on her knees for several minutes to be there for her teammate for the past 3 seasons. "Honestly, I felt like I got just kind of emotional seeing her down there," Boston shared post-game. "But for me, just trying to keep her calm, getting her slow breaths. And once she walked off the court, it was time to just focus on rallying around her and making sure that I'm focused for when it was my time to go back in." Mitchell was then helped her feet, appeared to decline a stretcher, and then a wheelchair as she slowly walked off with the assistance of the team's athletic training staff. Many Aces players wished her well. And then there were several individuals with Mitchell jerseys with her in the tunnel, likely family, able to be there for her when she needed it. Mitchell has had a healthy career, so this was a new experience for her. She's a tough, selfless warrior who played in every game over the last 3 seasons. 7 minutes after she was helped off the court, the Fever ruled her out for the game. That's how intense the cramps must have been, sending her to the hospital. Prayers for Kelsey Mitchell. That's my draft partner, Aya Wilson said to begin her post-game press conference. To see her go down like that was not good, so I send my prayers out to her. She's had a phenomenal season, and I really hope that the Indiana Fever continue to take care of her because she's a gem. Been here before, too often. There was still more than 17 minutes of game action to be played, 22 when including the overtime period. No Mitchell, the WNBA's third leading scorer, and Boston was in foul trouble. "We've been here before, so it's just so unlucky," said Lexi Hull, the only foundational piece of the team who started the game and was available to finish. She, too, gave it everything she could and finished with 12 points, 7 rebounds, and 3 assists in 43 minutes. "So crazy that had to happen tonight," she continued. "And just for us to be able to continue to bounce back and still fight and still close out a game against a great team, for us to be able to put out the performance we did tonight and send it to overtime, that's something to be proud of." Most mic'd-up segments are rah-rah, mostly fruitless content. But other coaches can draw inspiration from not just the job White has done with this team, but also how she had the right message after such an emotional drop. "I feel like there's so many games that we've had this year where that's happened, where you just laid on the line," said White, who had to lead the team through choppy waters far too often. "Nobody in our locker room had any doubt. And in our huddles, we kept talking about it, that we're ready for these moments." Vegas, in particular, in that overtime, hit a lot of tough shots. And that had to be the goal, make them hit tough shots, and they did. After trailing by 9 points in the fourth quarter, guard Odyssey Sims helped the Fever stay in the fight. It's been the right fit and opportunity for Sims, who was out of the league for a month. She showed that she deserves a role in the WNBA. Sims scored 10 of her team-high 27 points in the fourth, then another 4 in overtime, mostly off the dribble and in getting to the rim. She went 12 of 13 at the foul line. With a deck of completely rotten cards, the Fever still believed in each other, tied at 86 and headed to overtime. "We can win." Hull shared their mindset. "This is a 0-0 game, 5 minutes. We do those situations in practice. I mean, it took everyone. Had an incredible night tonight. People just stepped up. And I think when we were starting that overtime, we all 5, everyone on the bench, playing or not, we believed in each other and in ourselves." The Fever didn't go down without another memorable fight, with 6 in double figures and control of the paint. But Wilson posted 35 points and Indiana native Jackie U.